Good morning, everybody. That unlicensed music that started out the show is definitely going to get caught up. I'm going to have to clip that out. So playing the traditional intro music now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media universe. So glad to be hosting another episode of this award-winning show here. Yes, it's an award I gave myself, but you got to start somewhere. Bootstrap yourself up is what we do here at DYOR, and that's why we have all these great fans already in the comment section today. But what we don't have today so far is my co-host. As you can see from the screen here, Pedro is missing. Anyway, Pedro will be on in a little bit, so you're stuck with me for a little while. It's Technical Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, where we talk about the economy, talk about charts, what's going up, what's going down, and we answer your questions too as well. And I will try and do a good job with that until Pedro comes on. But all week we've seen, not all week, but since the weekend, since Sunday, we've seen the market fluctuate. We've seen it just go a little bit crazy here. Well, let me turn this sound down a little bit here. A little bit crazy here with all of this talk about Deepseek. Deepseek. That's all we saw, all we heard about all the time was Deepseek. And every media channel was reporting that it's awful. Pedro, I hear you in the background. And ladies and gentlemen, Pedro will be with us shortly. Pedro, it says I'm sending you my signal. Anyway, I'm going on at the beginning of the show here. All it was talking about Deepseek. And this and that, and oh my God, NVIDIA stock dropped. Yeah. Check Pedro. Check Pedro. I can. There's Pedro Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. My co-host, Pedro Garcia. What's happening, Pedro? A long night. Anyway, we're just getting the stream started on Rumble, so welcome to everyone waiting for the stream to get on for that. I was just waiting for Pedro to come on before I started that thing. But Pedro, I'm just going to go over to let you hear what I was talking about. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. It's January 28th, 2025. We've got a good show for you today. It's Technical Tuesday. This is the day we talk about charts, talk about what you guys want to hear about, what you want Pedro to review. Also, we talk about what's going on with the economy as well and the leading indicators and that type of stuff as well. Anyway, we were talking about Deepseek and what is going on with that. Why was it so important this weekend? Why did one little Chinese program that was released stir up the markets? And did it really only cost them $5 million to do? I don't think so. I'm skeptical. But anyway, that's not the issue. Well, anyway, let me finish my my intro here. Was it Deepseek? What did the market really crash because of a little program that came out? And the answer that I opine is, of course not. Of course not. That's not why it happened. It may have been one of the triggers that caused an overinflated NVIDIA stock to dump, but still, there's more behind it. And today, when we talk about the economy in general, you'll learn more about that, probably from reading the body of the show. You already know I'm talking about the country of Japan and what's going on over there. But anyway, quickly, Pedro, before we get to the show, just going to say hi. We got a bunch of new people in the room. Crypto Chrissy, AI Wolf dragged me in. She says, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. You'll find a good show here. Next Level Cash is in the house. Hey, Next Level Cash says Troll King, connect the dots. Yes, connect the dots. And Troll King wants some TA on ETH. But Pedro's all over that, but I can say, oh, boring. ETH is just not moving as much as it should be. Is ETH getting a bad rap? That's probably going to be a topic of another show on another day here. Pedro, at the beginning of the show, right behind me, there's like a rave going on at the Fonda in Los Angeles. And I was playing that music to get everyone pumped up, and Pump Up the Volume was going on, was playing a mix of it, and I don't think I had the sound set up right. But anyway, trying to get some fun starting up this episode. Pedro, what's happening? Good. Yep, things are going well. Things are going well. I've been watching Bitcoin just kind of go sideways, not do much here the past couple of days here, or past couple hours. It says you're on. Hold on. Let me do a reset here. Hold on. Resetting. It says it's on, but I did a reset. Is everyone hearing?
All right, guys, let me know. Can you guys hear me now? Hiya, Chuck. Crypto Chrissy, how you doing? Chuck, what's up? Dr. J's good. Dr. J's in the house. Troll King XPX. Awesome to see you. Next level over at Soul Bay. Shout out to you, brother. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me? Good now. Awesome, awesome. Awesome blossom. All right, guys, if you guys could do us also a huge favor, if you don't mind, because we're a small show, we do a lot of stuff here. We talk. I give real alpha when it comes to the charting and what to look at, how to look at it. And so I'd appreciate if you guys could hit that share button. That does engage the what do we want to call it? The algorithms.
The algo.
The algos. And so that does help us out quite a bit. It makes it worth my while, really more from an entertainment standpoint, not necessarily from a financial standpoint, because I receive no money with this show.
We're not there yet. We need more of these guys down on the bottom, sponsors here, but they come. The paying sponsors come after the viewers come. Yeah. So share this show and bring your friends.
All right, so just please go out there, tell your communities about it. That does help us out a lot. It is the communities that rule the world. And sooner or later, we will have nation state communities called crypto states. But that's for another day and another time. So let's check out Bitcoin here right now. Shout out to the new people. If you guys have any questions, please put them down in the actual system here. I had money, then I got into crypto. Well, hopefully we can help alleviate some of that and kind of learn when to get in and how to get into the markets versus just jumping into the markets, which I'm always, what's the word? Irreverently screaming at people for. And like, what the? How many times have I told you don't do that? Anyways. And so what we like to do is we like to play around here and see what's going on. So let's check out here real quick.
Quickly welcome people on Rumble. Apparently my sound wasn't the only thing that was having an issue, but Rumble kicked us at the beginning of the show for some reason. I've restarted it. All is good now. So welcome, Rumblers.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Rumblers and Mrs. Rumblers? Good to have every one of you guys. We got Dr. Fire Chicken in the house over at Rumble. Thank you so much for being here, brother. Really appreciate you. You are a statue of the DYOR. You are a fixture, and so we really appreciate you, brother, so much. Good to have you. All right, so let's move forward here real quick. All right, so Bitcoin here, we saw the big sell-off yesterday, and I always talk about if we see a sell-off in Monday and Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, potentially Tuesday, then what typically do we see? A push back up at the end of the week. And so this is kind of like what we were kind of expecting, right? I was hoping we would go down lower so I can get in at these lower levels of that 88 75 area potentially for a sell-off here. But even now, it was just a hiccup. When you think about how Bitcoin moves, I mean, just think about these days that we've had where literally the market moved 20% in a day, right? And
Yeah.
when you really think about it, okay, let's just look at it from like an actual movement standpoint, from a percentage standpoint. It went from 105 all the way down to 97. Okay, that's 8 points, or yeah, 8 points. So when you think about a market here that was sitting at about 105 and it went 8,000 points, like, I mean, what is that? I mean, what is that? 8%, 7%? That's not a big deal for us. Okay,
Nope.
at least for us in crypto. When we're talking 20, 30, 50% retracements that we can see a market have literally in one day. And if you're playing with meme coins, dude, that's just that's food for part, right? That's just part of it. So this it's one of those things that I want to really encourage us. Look, market's doing what the market does. Goes down Sunday, Monday, potentially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll see most likely go up. So these are just some of the things that we're expecting. Now, yesterday we had a decent amount of volume come in. I actually thought we were going to continue to sell off. I even told Tom after the market or after the show, I said, yo, I'm expecting this to go down here. He's like, really? And then we saw this. Where was it? What
It's
was
all
it?
right.
Right here.
I didn't take a short position.
Oh, good, 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 because it just literally just went up after that. So, but it was telling me that it wanted to go down. So it was around here, these periods and times where it was bunch of sellers coming in, and so I am a bit more bearish, even though we had this push up here from Bitcoin. I'm expecting this to come down primarily because I don't really see many buyer wicks and seller wicks. Since we have new people, let me explain that here real quick. Buyer wicks are the wicks of the candle, so these things are called candles
Try
individually.
and zoom that in there so they can see the wicks there.
Okay, let me go ahead right there. All right, so here's the body of the candle, and these are called Japanese candles. Okay. And it was based and created like almost 15, or I don't say 1500 years ago, about 500 to 600 years ago. A guy developed this system. And so most to really understand price movement when it goes up and goes down. And so there are certain candle formations that kind of tell you something. It's so used now so much that it really holds no real meaning. But for me and my trading techniques, one thing that you can't really lie about, especially on a daily and large candles or large, large, large products like Bitcoin, the reality is this: is you see that wick right there, it takes a lot of money to do that. You see this wick right here, it takes a lot of money to do that, for sellers to drop it and then push it back up. Okay. And for them to push in a certain direction. So that gives me more leadway to really how and where the market should go towards the towards areas of liquidity. So this idea of where is liquidity sending, or where is the market sending to tap into liquidity, because it goes from liquidity point to
Oops, sorry.
liquidity points. And so what I do is, and this is for a lot of our new people here that are watching us over on YouTube. So I want you guys to understand that. What's up, James Lovino? Good to have you. Nah, just say liquid sweep. I'd agree. A long 98 5K. Okay, sweet, nice. Likely will rebound at 104 and head back down for the max pain at the end of the week. I would hope for that. And the reason why I'm saying not so much is because as I'm looking at this market, let me finish up and I'll address that, James. And this is real important to pay attention to, as what we're seeing here, real quick. So, as the market right now, what I do is I look for liquidity in the market, and then I gauge direction by moving averages, is the way that I look. James, I want you to stick around. Let's check out your theory here for the next couple of weeks. We'll play around here. So come every day when we do this and we'll talk. Um, Trust me, I'm a real trader, so I have no problem. You know what I'm saying? And I've called this enough times. So stick around, we'll have fun, and I'll see if you're a
Pedro,
good
what were
trader.
you saying about the candles? You didn't finish up when you were talking about the
All
candles.
right. So the candles themselves indicate to me not necessarily the body, but the wicks indicate to me which direction the market makers want to take the market. And so if I see we're going up, but I don't see a lot of demand wicks, the bottom wicks right here, which I call buyer wicks because you need sellers to sell off, and then you need buyers to buy it back. So those are buyer wicks, and based off the numerical value of them will indicate to me whether they're really pushing the market up or pushing the market down. So that's how I look at the market. Now, when I really am looking in details, right? I look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, which indicate to me really trend. I see them parsed out in the idea of wicks on top, body, wicks on bottom. Every candle, majority of the time, is based that way, from a monthly candle literally to a yearly candle, 6-month candle, 3-month candle, 1-month candle, weekly candle, and daily candles. And these are what govern really big turnarounds and or continuations that we see in the market. And so I play off of that because it lets me know, let's say, i.e., for a monthly chart is broken up into 4 weeks. Okay. If you're going to see a chart itself, majority of the time, if we see a market go up in the beginning of the month, we should see it sell up at the end of the month. It all depends on what's happening in the market and what we're seeing here. So that's what I'm looking at here, James, as well as everybody here. Now, I don't disagree that we are going to go down. I think we're coming down, like you said. And I think you're right. The idea of for Max Payne, definitely, I think we'll see it more or less around that 85, 75. And when Sailor comes in to buy the market, they're
Wait, it
going
needs to
use
get closer to the top first. It needs to get closer to
yeah,
107. Then he'll buy the market.
yeah. And so this idea that he'll be exit liquidity for them. But I think right now, as we're moving into this week, right now we're finding kind of like a ping pong effect right now between that 50 period, which is sitting around that $99 mark, and literally this 103 to 105 area that we were just came down from. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the weekly chart, okay, remember your daily candles, okay, make up your weekly candles, right? And it's sectioned off in 5 situations. So you want to break up your week in a similar fashion, right? So if they took it down first to bounce off of the 8 period moving average, or if you're an ICT trader, then they came in here and they're looking for, if you look out on the daily, right, you really have that where is it called? It's right here. Boom.
And this is the
Uh,
weekly chart you have up, Pedro, right?
This is the daily and weekly in conjunction with the monthly because we're coming up to the end of the month.
I don't
So
know
it's
what you mean
important.
by it's a daily and weekly.
It's daily. I'm comparing the monthly, the weekly, and the daily because we're coming up to the end of the month for January. So right now, we want to see what's actually happening. So they pushed the market up in January 1st down. Remember, we talked
Yeah.
about this. I said it's going to come down. And remember, we drew the monthly zone right into here. And I said we'll come down into this area, if not down, potentially touch the 75 area, right? And then as we're seeing a sell off, then what happens is, and this is where I thought the flash crash was going to come in, right? Because as we started, I was like, okay, great, because I didn't trust the rally up. So what did they do first? The first 2 weeks, they pushed the market up, is what we talked about, right? Which is right here. They pushed the market up. They put the seller wick in. Then they dropped it and put down the market again for the towards the second week here. So I said, okay, nice. It came down and touched the 89 and 100. The 100 is the yellow
Right.
moving average here. And that in itself is an institutional SMA. And so the fact that it did come down and try to tap that was an indication of more of an institutional play. Okay, played off the 89. Many people know and understand about the 89 and how it correlates with a lot of the um, algorithms that correlate in trading. 75K is really low. 98K is max paying for Friday expiration over 7.8 billion expiring. Yeah, I agree. I can verify Pedro said that. Boom. Okay.
Yeah, James, you're right. The expiration is coming up. But I always like
Yeah.
to remind people about options is that a lot are expiring, but a lot of them get rolled over into the next period, or people roll them out of month to month or quarterly or whatever options and just roll them into perpetuals,
Yeah.
which camouflages that number. And so I've kind of stopped watching. When I worked in the futures markets, all we did was think about options that were expiring and triple Black Fridays or whatever they were, and things like that. And now so much money's being traded on perpetuals, and people are hedged that way too. And I don't put so much numbers in the expiring thing, but it is a good emotional number, and a lot of people trade on it.
I agree. It's important, and at the end of the expiration, right?
Right.
That day, triple witching Thursday, triple witching.
Well, it makes for
witching
good
Friday.
daily trading, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I agree with that. We could see, but to me, I'm seeing it like I'm looking at. Let's look at it from a real like trading opportunity, right? Being able to catch the market, knowing that hey, we're dropping, we're going up here, but we're showing weakness, right? And I said, guys, let's be ready. And at the time, I
Say, guys.
remember guys, remember I put up the little thing right here for us, and I said this is an intraday time frame. Be ready for a sell-off. I had 3 set up, right? One was right here, one was right here at the top right in here, and we're just talking small, maybe 50 point, 100 point areas in Bitcoin, right? That you could potentially take the short as it's moving up. But as we saw, I said, all right, expect this. Once I saw this big Mariposa candle coming down into these levels, I said 3 years you want to play with this area right here, as well as the 89, the area right here, 86 and 82. Because remember, if you're a trader, you want to elongate your run, right? The longer you can get your run to go, the better you can get. When it comes to my daily trades, I'm about 50, 60% right on this. And so this is where I always want to gauge guys. All right, look, expect this, expect that. I also let us know many times, expect some news event to actually happen. I've done it a couple times now, because when the market gets stagnant, kind of similar to what we're seeing right now, and we want to see some stuff come in, there's always some big news, something that populates, that creates certain movement in the market. One being, let's say, OpenAI and Deepseek, right? Or another one that's potentially coming up is the yen carry trade, and potentially the falling apart of China's economy as they come into deflation, because they're already starting with deflation, and it's really going to start hurting the rest of the world. And so as this happens, because Americans and much of the world's population aren't buying as much, we know this really because of manufacturing that has been happening, as we're seeing a decline in manufacturing. And when that happens, then there's less product to sell, hence people aren't buying it. So it's one of those things
also you have the fact that the current presidential administration wants all the manufacturing to move to onshore in the next 6 months. Just bring it all back in the next 6 months. Give you big tax breaks. It'll happen.
It could. It very much could.
It might take 15 years, but it's not going to take 6 months.
I don't know, man. I mean, the fact that Elon was able to put something that should take 5 years in 3 weeks, and he is running the Department of Doge, it very much could. It partly is, he just says, hey, what the F? Stop this. Let's move forward here.
Well, when I went to school, Pedro, a lot of the guys I went to school with, I went to school in Indiana. A lot of those guys literally majored in industrial engineering, which was code for tool and die, building the machines and tools that factories need to make stuff. And none of those guys work in that industry anymore because there is almost no tool and die industry left because all that heavy manufacturing went to China. Obviously, there's still lots of. The United States is still a manufacturing powerhouse, but the heavy manufacturing that supports your industry, it all basically left because it was so much cheaper to do it out there. We want to move that back. We can. It's better to leave the dirty stuff over there, frankly. But some of it's important, like steel, refining critical elements and raw elements and things like that. Yeah. Smelting, all that stuff. It's really important. We don't have that low-level infrastructure to do it yet. It's going to take time to bring it back. And people are going to fight it. Trump's going to say, bring it back. Elon's going to say, we can do it. And then they're going to say, we're going to open up a plant here, and the lawsuits are going to start. Not in my backyard, people. Because remember, all politics ends up being local. And the local politicians want to keep their jobs, and so they end up listening to their constituents when they get sued. Tough to bring that manufacturing back, even though I would love for it to come back.
Well, a lot of people are losing jobs. People are getting laid off.
And Chuck says an X still can't make spaces work right. So it's a trade-off.
Good point. That's actually one of the most frustrating things, right?
I know.
It's like, come on, man. Like you're literally running 5 businesses, which is respectable. And these aren't even small businesses. These are world-leading tech companies. AI, right? On top of that, he's got X, he's got Tesla, he's got the rocket, he's got the boring, he's got Neuralink.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
James, you're right about lots of jobs being lost here in Q1. And one of the things we need to remember is that the past 4 years we were lied to about the jobs report. And if you seem to be
who
a
was
trader,
screaming it from the rooftops?
Pedro is calling it out. You've heard me talk about this a million times, the rest of you, but Pedro was calling out. He's like, something's not right with that jobs report. And I was like, come on, man. It's the government data. They can't fake that stuff. It turns out they were faking it. They were faking it badly in the Biden administration. It turns out, it wasn't just Trump's people saying they faked it. It was one of the offices of Inspector Generals came out and said, you guys aren't doing that right. And the job creation was much worse under the Biden administration than they were reporting. And I'm not saying one guy's better than the other. That's not the point. Point was that the Biden administration was lying about the numbers. Pedro called it out and said, something's not right here.
Multiple times. If you look at this industry,
it was like the president was out there and that awful press secretary had like, another 50 million jobs coming in. Every month there's 50 million jobs. Pedro's like, there's not that many people in the U.S.
Right. This is the pop. Remember, I literally went over and I said, let's look at I'm sorry, you get me all excited about this stuff. But I was literally, we went up on the show and I said, look at this from an actual just numbers standpoint, right? From 2000 to 2024. Okay, we got 24 years of data here. This isn't rocket scientists. A kid in 5th grade could figure this out. Dude, yeah, definitely lied about the job. What is it? What do you write? I like this James dude. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's always good to have someone else that does similar thinking. As Chris Alexander on our sister show, the Crypto Swamp Creature, says, there's never a smarter person than the person that agrees with you.
You better disagree with me with something. So if you don't come in here, you're going to contribute. Make sure we have real talking points there so you can actually...
I'm going to take a quick break here, Pedro, to talk about this morning. We had another episode of the Crypto Swamp Creatures on the DYOR Media Network. It was a great episode about computational power and AI being a national security issue. And Chris Alexander and Justin Wallin, 2 Washington, D.C. think tank types and pollsters, take 12 minutes to talk through that issue. And it's really good. After this show, why don't you go back to the DYOR Media Network, check out the Crypto Swamp Creature podcast. It's all good stuff. Good 10-minute hits on various topics regarding the intersection, crypto, AI, and Washington, D.C. It's a good show. Suggest you be there. Pedro, I'm also going to take 5 minutes here to quiz your brain before you get into the rest of your economic indicators here.
Okay.
Earlier today, I was listening to...
oh, by the way, sorry. Side note, I know you just I just totally interrupted this segment here. You're getting mad. We'll do this again. I want to say, dude, you also called some dope stuff last week about what was it? Uh, Jumping back on the jobs. I know we wanted to go here, but you said some. I actually wrote it down and I forgot. I don't know what I did with that. Now, all right, I just forgot it. Tom is a genius regarding some stuff. Keep going. Then we'll move. It'll hit me. It hit me, and then it went bloop, because it was a long night.
Pedro, I was in the UK Crypto Queen's space this morning, talking with extreme car care friend Chris from Manchester. Brought me into that space, and you've been in that space before.
Yep.
Listening to a gentleman talk about it. And yesterday, when we were talking about Deepseek, I thought to myself, "There's something else going on here." Ultimately, I looked at the hoopla about Deepseek and all that type of stuff, and I was like, "Something doesn't make sense here. Something's not right here." I realize it's a big deal and all that, but news that comes out of China is well crafted and it's done for a purpose. It's not just random stuff, and so.
Absolutely.
And I was like, there's something else. They can't move the market that much. I mean, they moved the market big yesterday if that was all up to them. And then someone said, hey, guys, you know what missed the whole news cycle yesterday that happened yesterday in Japan?
Yeah.
They raised their interest rates. They made a whole bunch of these carry trades unaffordable, or at least not as profitable. And so what needs to happen on those carry trades? For you guys that don't understand it, I only really picked up learning about this a while ago, is that Japan needed to stimulate their economy. They had a lot of sovereign debt. They put their interest rates to 0, and for a while it was -%. They would pay you to borrow money from them. And so what a lot of institutions did, is they went and borrowed money in Japan and invested it in other things that brought in higher rates. They invested it in Japan because they were required to do some of that. But they also spirited it out of the country, invested it in other places. People invested it in Bitcoin. They've invested it in all types of things. And what institutions do, now that we have the institutions in our crypto world, you get institutional behavior in crypto.
Yes, we do.
And one of the things that is that when large institutions do things, they have rules, they have policies. All of their traders have a long list of things they need to do. Their portfolio managers have to manage a portfolio, and so when the Japanese interest rates go up, they need to balance, they need to de-risk, and they need to balance their portfolios however they do it. And one of the ways they do that is they raise cash. How do you raise cash? You sell things. And that happened yesterday. And that's why Bitcoin went down. Usually, bad news, Bitcoin goes up, right? It's a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against bad news, kind of like gold. But it went down. Altcoins got crushed. The stock market got crushed. NVIDIA got crushed. Now, NVIDIA of course, was high flying. But everything needs a reset. You can't get away from that 21-day, moving average that far for that long. And it needed something. And that Deepseek was its impetus. But really, behind the scenes, if you zoom out at the size of the economy, Japanese carry trade, the amount of money they've got in the market dwarfs what's traded in crypto. And just the foreign exchange that goes on with the yen is massive. And so our little world of crypto, while large to us, is very small. It's very, very small. And you have to zoom out. You've got to zoom out and look at it. What's causing that? And just, a couple of large banks in every country rebalancing their portfolios to raise cash in lieu of higher interest rates and figuring out where to reinvest that can tank the market that has grown. I mean, Pedro, how high has the S&P been flying lately? It's at new all-time highs every other day.
Stupid. It's right. and really with no real impetus to really cause it to truly get to be there, because the U.S. market is lagging. People don't have jobs. There isn't real free flow. The money flow going on with M1 and M2 isn't there, and we're seeing it shrink in the market. And so that idea basically means that money exchanging from business to consumer isn't as much, which means that there isn't a lot of jobs. Hence, you could start this cycle, dare I say, deflation versus inflation. that we might be coming into, because somehow, some way, they've got to get these consumers to come in and buy something. And if it's super cheap, like if I see eggs, because I'm an eggaholic, and I see eggs sitting instead of for organic, free range, Pete's, non whatever, right? I pay $8 for. Now I see them at $4. Dude, I'm buying two. Right? Like, there we go. It's the reverse problem that you had during the summertime, right? Where, you were only able to get 2 drumsticks for
Chicken
the same
breasts.
price they used to get it for 3.
Right. 30. They say, oh, we're not raising our prices. They're just reducing the amount of food you get for the same price.
Yeah, so they've done that now.
Stupid Krogers.
And people aren't doing it. People aren't buying. People are eating home. People are not going out spending money on restaurants. There's a shortage here, and I wonder if Trump is going to highlight this. Oh, what did James say? Here we go. I venture that they were short the market before making. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude.
No, there's no Pedro. There's no market manipulation, and there's no front running going on in crypto. Come on,
bro. No. For them, like, what a side note here, dude. What a play. Like, I've been talking about, there's got to be some upstart that's going to come out and fight against Nvidia. I've been talking this now for almost a year, right? Like, when it exploded, where's Nvidia? There it is. I should probably put on my glasses. I refuse it.
I can tell because you move off screen to get closer to your monitor, so all of a sudden you're like this.
Like,
and you start reading like someone in the 3rd grade, and I'm like, hey, Pedro doesn't have his glasses on. You just need to get one contact like I wear. I wear one so I can see close and I can see far. I don't need to put glasses on.
Ooh, that's a good idea. It's actually a really good idea.
Been doing it for like, I don't know, 10 years or 8 years or something.
That's such a good idea. So I can sit there and go like this, and I'll be like,
your brain figures it out real quick. So you don't
really?
you don't need to close your eyes. Your brain just figures it out. You just go on with life.
Oh, I freaking love it. All right. Okay, so here real quick. I keep joking because I got to look at it. All right, let's see here.
Here, I'll put the.
Yeah.
I used to be able to adjust you as you go along, but my computer is
jacking up.
Yeah, I got to get a new computer to adjust things live.
There's still some money at you, man.
James, you're right about most people don't understand that the AMD things are smoking.
Yeah. Most people don't know that AMD MI300X and the MI350X is faster than NVIDIA. Very much so. Yeah, and I've talked about this because there's got to be something that's going to come out, and it's got to play. Like, it's just, there's no way that NVIDIA can stay on top this way. They have so much money, and they're blowing so much money, I think, on trivial things. Now, when I say trivial things, I mean things because they've got so much money that they can explore versus sticking really to what they really are meant to do, right? And so there's going to be somebody else who's going to come along and play in their field and upstart. And I've been talking about this, I think when it hit, what was this, back in June? I said, dude, I just don't believe, and then we saw the sell-off here. This is when they split back in June, right? Here was the split, shot up, and then came back down, and then we saw another one here. So I said, once we started seeing double tops here, right, and just a slowdown in the S&P 500, I said, there's got to be something's a brewing. I can't see it not happening. So, like you can see here with NVIDIA, we're coming up. We've got the gap here. It's a big gap, a lot of sellers. If it can't hold through this gap, then we're going down. Hence, the S&P 500 will be going down if we don't see this baby continue up. All right, so and then there's going to be a rebalancing of the S&P 500 and how that all works. And everybody knows, same thing with NASDAQ, and what that all looks like will be funny. I won't say funny. That's the wrong word. It's that's you, bud. Yeah. This would be August 24th. Yes. It just moves. Merely a flesh wound. Speaking of the monthly chart, though, let's go ahead and. Your mic is muted. Mike,
You guys didn't need to hear what I said anyway.
go ahead. You were saying.
That was what I was telling when my mic was muted. I was saying the drop in Nvidia, compared to where we were in August, it's not even halfway the gains since August. I mean, and if you're an Nvidia a day trader, then or you're long in it thinking that it was going to moon, then you got hammered by that sudden drop. Unless you were short and then you made some big cash. But really, if you zoom out, if you focus on that 15-minute chart and that 1-hour chart, that big move was huge. If you focus on the daily or weekly or monthly charts, it's not even going to register on the monthly chart,
It did, but I mean, it was a good little, this is where it went from here all the way down to here. Right, it was a big little pump, but it came all the way down, and look, it found support at the 8-period moving average. Now, the fact that it weakened that 8-period moving average, and if we close, right, Friday, if we don't close above that 8-period moving average on Friday, and we see the next month go up on Nvidia, expect a sell-off by the end of the month for Nvidia. We'll probably be down, touching that 87 potential area on Nvidia. So the fact is that, and it's not a small thing, but Deepseek did, and there's real numbers behind it that show it. There are people out there who really said no for what it's doing and how it's doing it, and they made it pretty clear. Deepseek made it pretty clear what they're using and how they're doing it, that it was pretty open. So it's not like,
yeah, you can download an image to your computer and do it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You can download it, and there was a point in time where I think the U.S. government stopped it from being able to actually have access to the U.S. market. I know, that was just kind of crazy. I was like, what? Why are they doing that? That is just dumb. Like I even said this to you yesterday. I was like, you tell Americans can't have something, and we're gonna fight for it, even if it's poison. You know what I'm saying?
They can't. The U.S. government just can't turn off things like that. I mean,
they shut off the IP. We're gonna get to it.
I mean, one IP is. I mean, they could shut off the IP to GitHub, and then but everyone on GitHub would sue the U.S. government for interfering with their business because GitHub only has a couple IPs.
Is GitHub a Chinese business, or is
no? Microsoft owns it.
Okay, that's a different story.
No, but that's where you download it from.
Hong Kong. The idea that they're still pulling it from.
You can for Deepseek, you can download the GitHub for it and run it on your local computer. It's not the full-blown one. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Got you. All right. Yeah. I mean, but the fact that they did deny Americans to have access to it was, I just think, stupid. That regardless if you can download the system, locally and play it, or run it, is two different things. The fact that they tried to stop us doing that, I don't like that. I'm partial. I think partially to that was probably Elon Musk and a few of the other tech industries saying this could go viral and kind of jack us up. So let's just make sure. And sure enough, we saw a lot of the tech companies actually employ the Deepseek tech into their system.
Yeah, it's probably all the employees of OpenAI. Sam Altman's there, running a DDoS attack.
Dude, James rocks, dude.
You could probably just tell OpenAI or Grok, hey, run a DDoS attack, and they're like, okay. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that? Oh, I infected 10 million routers and Internet of Things to DDoS attack somebody.
It's kind of amazing, that they, if let's say we really were to, if they were to really start this international war of tech, of AI, right? This nation against this nation. I don't think we've really seen it yet. At least that's out in the open, right? But like, and it wouldn't be crazy if like they were really doing this stuff back. I mean, they were just like, just constantly bombarding, and we're like fighting them off. Anyways, that just went off. Let's go in. This is Technical Tuesday, dude. We've just been blathering on for the last like hour. Yeah. Quick question for you, though,
Yo.
and I just remembered. So, we know that the yen carry trade is definitely readjusting, and and Japan has a right to make money. They do, right? And a readjusting of those bonds around the world and how things are being done it is kind of going. It's not done. It's not over. I think they're giving the rest of the world a chance to kind of get ready, right? I think they're going to keep raising rates. I think they're going to start to really push certain things so that they can actually kind of get ahead, and in doing that, we're going to be able to sit there and see. I don't know why this camera is so close today. It's like super close, and it's just, yeah, stop. And it's just doing what it's doing.
Well, to be honest, the world's markets shouldn't revolve around how much money they can suck out of the Japanese government, out of their central bank. I mean, that's a nice to have in times of largesse. When he's like, oh look, there's a little imbalance in the market, and I can, by borrowing a bunch of money, I arbitrage the markets and they balance out. And that really wasn't going on there. They're just basically taking printed Japanese yen and borrowing it and using it somewhere else. Well, in Japan and elsewhere. And that's not a real business model. That's one of those things that should be a short-term anomaly in the market.
The arbitrage there is sad because it kind of, like you said, it kind of puts a nation in a sense in poverty, in a sense. I mean, yeah, it makes things, gives more money to the government. They can do more initiatives, but in the same sense, man, it just kind of hurts certain things. I don't know why this thing is. Actually, let me try this here. Maybe if I just flip that. Is that better? I don't even know, man. This thing's just whacked out today. There we are. Okay, that just makes it better. All right, I just had my camera the wrong way. Okay, so let's jump here real quick. S&P 500. Now the S&P 500, we saw it on the monthly basis come down and tap the 8-period moving average, which is what we've been seeing it bounce off of and then push up. We did hit at the beginning of the month, we talked about it coming down and seeing it, at least that first resistance level, come down to the 8-period on the monthly zone here, or the monthly dynamic zone, which is called the 8-period moving average. And it's a simple moving average to our new viewers. And what it is, you can saw we came down, found support. I was hoping it would come down to that 57 area, the 57.52 to the 57.35 area. We didn't. We pretty much played off of the 8 and saw it kind of rebound. This month, the way we're closing pretty high on the wick here, which then is an indication of a bullish sentiment for the markets. So if that closes, if we close basically above 60 on the continuous chart of the SME futures for the S&P 500, which is the ES, you'll be able to set this area here as an indication of there's definitely looking for a bullish run, and can see it basically a sell-off again, what we saw last month, where at the beginning of the month we saw the sell-off into the year and then a push back up. So that's what I would expect to see if we're going to that. If we don't, and we open up into the wick of the month, right, That's going to be Monday. What we'll see what happens. I think it's Monday, right? I'm almost positive, but I just want to make sure. No, the 3rd is Monday. So if on the 3rd we see it open up and we see it go up first without really going down, expect a sell off towards the end of the month so we can see that wick come in as we play. So
welcome,
really
Dar Baby. Degens Unite, says Dar Baby. Thanks for joining us for the Swamp Creatures earlier today, Pedro. Dar Baby, really appreciate that.
Awesome. All right, now let's check over here real quick with the yen. Speaking of the carry trend, so it still hasn't seen a lot of buyers step in. It's still in this epic descent. What's been happening over there with the yen. The biggest key thing that I think to be paying attention to here is within the yen is just a couple things. One being, if certain things start to change within the economy and we really start to see things flip, one of the greatest trades you are going to see
that's down
is
a lot.
literally
That's down a lot.
Oh yeah. We're talking this is since 2000. Well, and a lot of this happened, right? There's a lot.
Oh, that's a monthly chart. Oh, I thought that was like a couple of weeks in total. I was like, Jesus.
No, this is 2012. So, but what? I mean, not 2012. This has been since, what is it? 2000 is when this started. So the reason why I say this is, I mean, this is juicy for any trader, right? To capture this trade from down here all the way back up, or if not even 50% of that trade. You talk about being able to be in a trade that you can leverage, right? This would be the trade. So if they're doing certain things, that I would expect the yen to start to show some strength here. And we can already see back in June, July, August, September here, or July, August, September, that there were a lot of buyers that really stepped into the yen and let it pull back here. So I think potentially we could be seeing a low here on the yen and then really capture a push up. So we'll see what happens, but we'll be following that because of the yields that are happening within the yen. It very much could just change the sentiment there. And we really could start to see a lot of stuff actually happening there. Okay. All right. So one of the things that I just want to make sure we're paying attention to is if it does start to show strength, expect the end of the month or the beginning of next month to go down first and then to see it go up. We've already been playing with the moving averages, the 8 and the 20 here. So I'm pretty positive we're going to be able to blow through that fairly easy and really tap into the month potentially if this thing starts to go long here or this thing starts to push up. I think, and this would be crazy. I get it. This is a crazy thought. But remember, you want to let your runners run. So that we're always thinking, how long can I let this trade go? Right? That first resistance, will start right here. But we could potentially see this trade end around 007 area. Now, this is crazy. I get it, what I'm saying. But it's important to be able to play this because you could be able to play this and play it nice.
How does someone trade the yen if they don't have a CME account?
Any type of currency prop firm they can go through. You just open up a like a small forex account, and then
but like I'm trying to say, like if our viewers are predominantly crypto viewers, is there a crypto that tracks the yen? Like there's wrapped BTC, there's stable coins that track US dollars. Is there a stable coin that tracks the yen in which you could buy it in dollars and then as it devalues and things like that? I guess that's a good thing to put on the...
I don't know. That's something I do need to look up. Yeah.
Yeah, Dar Baby says Forex, of course, but a lot of people just have Coinbase accounts.
Yeah, you know what? We'll see. I'll need to check into it. Also remind me if I haven't done it. But yeah, that's something I'll look into to see if there.
I guess I don't know. I don't have a Coinbase account, so I don't know. Maybe Coinbase does have Forex in it. And if they don't, why not? My God, Forex and crypto go together like
Peanut butter and jelly.
peanut butter and jelly. I was trying to come up with something really weird like Vegemite and kangaroos or something, but anyway, Pedro, I gave you the time that I had so we wouldn't get too long into the economy and hit some of those top coins that the people were asking about.
Let's go over here real quick to the 20-year here real quick. We're seeing a sell-off like we talked about. Expect us to maybe potentially see a follow-through. If we do this, if into the next month, we would see it then potentially go up, then go down. If we're going to see it continue down. The VIX here real quick, we saw the sell-off, deleveraging, people start freaking out. So you again seeing it come back to the mean here. China. Really interesting here. I don't want to go here. We don't need to go into that. Let's go into the Dixie here real quick. We're seeing the Dixie fall. We talked about last week that it should continue following the 8-period moving average. Last Tuesday, I said the sell-off from Monday into Tuesday, we came expected to really hit that 8 and the 20 period and see the sell-off continue down. And to play off it as it plays off of this 8-period moving average on the daily. So you can see here from last Tuesday. James, in case you want to go check out that trade, you can see that I talked about the Dixie here going down, and it did. Boom. Crude oil here again is one of those things that is going to be really interesting. Trump made it very clear to Davos that we are going to drill and we are going to be an energy economic nation. That
drill, baby, drill.
Drill. Key quote, drill, baby, drill. And he said it at the inauguration, and he doubled down at Davos and said, if you get in our way, then we will start to do real stupid stuff. I see. I just typically only trade crypto. I got you. We're going to go into crypto here again. Again, remember, because all the institutions are now into crypto, you need to understand the full kind of scope of the market, because what happens, they pull money out every single day. These things trade. And so they make money in one, and then it shoots up, and then it comes back down, and they cycle money in and out constantly through all. And crypto opens up at 9:30 with Bitcoin, the S&P 500. So you need to understand the circulation. If one gets pushed a ton of money, let's say gold gets pushed in and a ton of money happens, what happens is then we won't have enough money, let's say, for the other things. So it's important to see the cycle of how these things move so you can gauge really if this is going to be a big breakout day or if this is going to be more of a consolidation day, which is important as a trader, right? Because you want movement. So you can see here, crude oil here, we're following the 8-period moving average, expected to go down. Our trade here, we said, if you're going to get in, you want to put a stop up here and follow it down. I'm expecting realistically that 57 to 52 area, and it would hurt if I think American oil drillers, and I don't know the details here, but if it came to that 42-33 area here, unless if we have almost in a sense inflation to get quailed out, because crude oil governs everything, and if crude oil goes down, the making of everything goes down, hence a safe deflation, right? Whereas prices go down, and when prices go down, okay, and you start to balance out what happened in 2019 for COVID-19 20, right, with the huge inflation. So if we're seeing jobs come into the market through the initiatives that Trump is trying to do, if he's able to accomplish it, okay, and then with crude oil and a lot of natural energy resources going down, like natural gas, like crude oil, right? A lot of these things will then see extra money flow into your pocket, the crypto buyer, hence allowing you to buy more crypto. So So that's why I go over all this stuff, so you guys can have a kind of a global understanding before we jump into, because again, this is called Technical Tuesday. There's a reason why I'm going over this stuff, so that you guys can have a broad understanding of the full scope of the market as a trader, right? Okay, so good morning. What's up, Crying Cat? It's good to have you. Glad you're back. What's up? All right, so
Crying Cat, thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it.
Boom, where are you at? Okay. This here is the top of all of this. Is Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, Meta. What was V? V is Visa, Unilever, which is it became really famous in the news recently. CEO got shot, but they are the largest.
That was United Healthcare.
Or United Healthcare. Sorry, I don't know why I said Unilever. My brain just went weird. United Healthcare. NU Health. This, that's what it is. And so this is a huge indication. And you can see here with the huge sell-off of yesterday, okay, it was really interesting. Yet the tech companies really kind of doubled up, and now it's even better. So it almost acted as a good sell-off position for many of the other stocks out there that are in tech where people were able to buy. So really interesting to see what's happening today. If you look at the monthly chart on this, right, this is basically all of the stocks put together as one, almost like, and it's equally balanced, which is what I like about it more than anything. Whereas if you look at the S&P 500 or something, or not S&P, but the NASDAQ, you start to have market capitalization offness. So I don't know what to say, because as one stock gets bigger, and let's say if you put together like a huge portfolio of the crypto market, and let's say what is it, was it Farcoin, right, which is now sent at $1 billion market cap, right? It was like $2-3 billion now, right? Farcoin, was it Farcoin come, what was it? I forget what it was. It was something like that. It was either Farcoin or Farcoin something, and I just can't believe we're actually saying this in actual real but it's real. It's real, right? Let's say you put that into your meme portfolio, and all of a sudden it goes from, like, let's say 2 billion, all of a sudden 70 billion. Well, it throws everything off when it comes to your actual portfolio. So you need to go and rebalance where you actually have your money flowing into. So I like this chart because this gives me a good balance of everything. It doesn't allow for extra capitalization of things. Okay, so you can see here, yesterday really wasn't much of it. It more or less hit Nvidia, and so we'll see what happens with Nvidia. But the rest of the crypto market is, the rest of tech market, i.e. crypto market, because it's probably going to be a subset of tech, right? And so we'll see what happens when it comes to that. But as of right now, I need to look at it like that. And you can see it stayed balanced. So this is really important as we're moving here. Now you can see here as we come down, Michael Saylor's coin here. I meant stock, personal stock money system did show
the infinite money machine.
The infinite money machine did show weakness, did a bit of a sell-off from yesterday, came back a little bit, but you can see we're now continuing down. So with this said, the reason why this is important, because this is where Michael, or Mr. Saylor, gets his money. Okay, and so if this is selling off, things starts to mess up, it's not good for him. He loses credibility. And so we're seeing this come down into these lower levels. And so I'm expecting again to touch that 100 period moving average, which is sitting about the 279 area into the beginning of this month coming. I think it'll end up higher at the end of the month, but I think they're going to sell it off first as we move forward. Now let's check out Bitcoin. Now, what were the other coins that we're looking at that people wanted me to check out?
ETH, Sol.
Okay. All right. So ETH.
I can't remember the other ones.
So ETH, I did get bamboozled. I expected ETH to push up. We talked about here last Tuesday how I honestly thought we were going to see it push up, literally because we had more. I want to say push. I expected us to at least go up a little higher, hit that 50, come back down, and then go up, right? Whereas we sold off, we found support right here. And then now it's just continuing down. You're seeing a bleed out in ETH. And so the next spot in ETH is honestly, and we've talked about this now for months now, is coming back down to that 23, 24. If we fall through this area and that 200 and 400 period moving average, along with this zone area, does not hold, then it's gone.
All hell's gonna break loose.
Yeah, and I think at this sell-off, I know as institutionally, since there's an ETF, they're going to be buying up. Like they're gonna, this amount of sell-off here. If it's a slow bleed, even better for them, right? Because then they can pick up more as people sell off. Whereas if it's a quick bleed, they have to get in where they can, right? And so if it's a slow bleed, they have this amount of volume, daily volume coming in, that's basically keeping it just selling, that keeps it kind of level. They have a lot more volume to buy in at these market moves. So I do expect, if we can't, it's looking like it's.
Hey Pedro, you got some program in the background consuming a lot of bandwidth. You gotta. Very rarely does your internet connection show red here, and it just went into the red, and your voice popped. Went to McDonald's drive-thru for a minute.
Give me 1 second.
It just went back to green. I don't know, but
okay. Ooh, oh yeah, something took my memory. What was it? Oh, okay. I've got 39.
Pedro, I had a long list of things that came to my mind when you said something took my memory. Like I said, you created an AI the other week that probably was that. It just took your brain away. It said, well, we're going to take that out. Don't need that anymore. We're just going to be the Borg.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're still doing it. And dude, Deepseek. Bro, dude. Anyways, yeah, with this AI project, bro, we were able to get Deepseek and get a couple things before the U.S. government kind of. I mean, we weren't able to do that. I mean, it really wasn't. I mean, truth is, it's just whatever. Yeah, we'll see what's up.
Alpha, when you get done with the couple of these things, Alpha dropped his CTO token there. Alpha, of course, we'll get to that, please, or get to that. Sorry, I was reading Chuck's thing. Aleo, ALEO. Do you know that one, Pedro?
Aleo. No, we'll check it out here in a second. Let's check out Sol, and then we'll check out Aleo.
Chuck, send me a link to Aleo, unless it's a major one that I just don't know about.
Yeah, and just let us know. All right, so again, it's playing perfect, what we expected. Just like here, what we saw, Solana tipped up above the highs, came back down. I said, if we can't stay above that daily 8-period moving average, which it played and flirted with for almost a week. You can see this, man. I mean, this was last Tuesday here. And I said, all right, we should go up as long as we stay above. But once it started flirting above it, the highs, sure enough, I said, if we cannot close above the 59, the all-time high, the 259.50 area, then it was going to go down. It had to close above it with volume, strong volume, right after this, and just wasn't able. You can see we just could not close above it. And then so we saw the breakdown here. We saw last week, we were talking about the seller wicks coming in.
Right.
And I said it's not good that we're seeing the seller wicks come in. It's showing weakness. If it doesn't stay above that A, expect it to come down. So it's what we saw here, expecting this potentially to be coming down. If again, there's nothing really here until the 8-period or the 100-day period moving average, which is sitting at the 210 area, okay, 211, 210, and then we have the 200-period moving average sitting at the 180. So if we come back down to that area again, if many of you guys have coins on Solana, meme coins, right? Expect maybe another sell-off of those before we can start to see real volume step in again at these levels. Also, I know that the fact that pump fund was kind of mitigated in the UK and a few other places around the world it's kind of getting fed up with pump fund, it could put a damper on Solana here. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. It's going to be really interesting to see how Trump is setting up a lot of the commissions as well as like agencies in a sense for crypto and AI. So there is definitely, I think we're seeing legislation going to be set up for meme coins in particular, especially industry, the whole entire industry at large. Whereas if you go through and you hear American taxpayers, there's going to most likely be real extradition. So if you're, let's say, some gang or company out in Africa or whatever, or in India, I'm pretty positive America's going to start to put, boots to ground over there and go, you're messing with Americans. You need to stop. I mean,
you're gonna turn into the mafia. Oh yeah, dude, you messing with us? Pew 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 pew.
But bro, that's how it works though. Especially like Trump, he's a mobster, bro. Like dude, you know why he got where I live and the immigrant cultures, why they voted for him? Because he's a gangster. They just said it. Like they're like, he's one of us. He gets shot at. He's being prosecuted. He's a mobster. He's like, it's
and then Trump tweets a picture of him as a mobster. Yesterday when he told Colombia to go F off?
Dude, that was bro.
That was the epic troll.
Bro, like, dude, there's so much going on. I'm just like, dude, what's happening over at the border, bro, with freaking sending like the cartel and the Marines, dude, we're going to end up literally having to knock on the door of the president of Mexico and go, okay, we're trying to bring these people back and you guys aren't letting us. Look, if you don't, we're going to have to invade and take out.
In Mexico, it's easy. We just go push them across the fence. Colombia, it's difficult, Anyway, I got I brought up the info for Alio. I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up on the Gecko machine. And it's basically a zero knowledge play. You can develop applications on their platform that take advantage of enabling privacy functions on the blockchain. That's all I'm going to get into with that one. But
all right, let's check it out here. Alio. Ooh. Is this the right Alio?
It's at 3 cents.
Yeah, from what was the all-time high? Ooh, $6. Oh man, these people right here, dude.
Yeah, that's the right one, Pedro.
Ooh, that hurts, man.
Well, there's a bunch of people that were used as exit liquidity there. Oh, that's September of 24. Now, I was thinking that was like in 2017.
No, bro, this is like literally within the last like 6 months, bro. This hurts. Honestly, if you're going to get in on this, I mean, the truth is this might be a good spot, man. I mean, it's bleeding. You can see the bleeding is kind of stopping. I mean, not really. I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, 30 cents here.
Well, it's a proof of work
okay.
to coin, or however you want to say it. And Chuck says the miners are still profitable for it because they're still mining.
Okay.
So, well, there you go.
Is anybody buying the coin?
Well, apparently the miners are too profitable because they're mining it and dumping it. That's what's going on. That's clear what's going on.
All right, well, definitely.
All right. And I don't even think we... Maybe let it get a little lower and then put $100 in it and see if it turns into $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, like legit, you're at 30 cents. You can have a 60 at, or what is it, $33 would be 10, 10, 20. So 20x right here potentially. I think it's good. The issue is like the miners are dumping here, right? So you got to sit there and find out when aren't they profitable to mine to dump. Right, and that would really be where your break even would be, right? And so that's what I would find out. Like, at what point is it that those miners are not profitable? And then maybe DCA. I'm not telling you to buy $1 trillion of it. Maybe DCA at that level, and then see if it starts to pick back up, right? If you're going to look at this from an actual trading perspective, look It's got to clear above the 8-period moving average. You can see we've been following this. It's been following this literally since its inception, since October, right? Where it literally came below, came back, tested the 8, followed it all the way down. It was able to break it somewhat with some volume right here. You can see how volume came in. It started going consolidated. We started seeing it go up, right? But it just wasn't able to continue here, obviously. And then it just kind of descended again below that 8-period moving average, and it just stayed below. So it's got to get above that 8-period moving average to really see some volume. And the daily volume doesn't really look that strong as well, right? So, you know, you have 2 million, 3 million LEO. So what would that be, like 300,000, 200,000 volume on this? So it's a decent amount, but I mean, you know, when you're thinking about coins that deal in the billions of dollars, you know, it's just, you could still be kind of hurt. So, you know, whatever you think on this from a fundamental standpoint, but I would just wait until we get above that 8-period moving average with volume that shows that it wants to move up with demand wicks, right? Those are the buyer wicks. So that's what we want to see. And I've showed you that. Remember, like when I was looking at XRP before it exploded, and I said, hey, look, it's showing buyers here. In addition to that, we're seeing it follow the 8 and find support there. The next level is all the way up here, right? So that's a similar thing you want to sit there. If you want to go check that video out, you can go check it out. What did James or what did Chuck say? I don't own any wolf.
He doesn't own any of the LEO, but he's been following it because Chuck's a niche miner, loving that Litecoin mining and other types of things. Keeps him on top of his technology game. Let's put it that way.
I need to start doing that stuff, man. In all reality,
I actually went down the Litecoin and Monero mining road a while ago. And I stopped it. The brain was full, and the things to do were full, and I put that on the back burner. And then the computer I was doing it on, I just pulled the hard drive out, put it under the plasma cutter, and that was it.
That was it. You heard him. Okay, nuts. Kitty with nuts. Okay, just making sure you were safe. That's going fast. Okay,
grab
boom.
USAG. I think it's going to be our national token. USAG.
All right, check it out. Check
TIG.
All right.
Partially the same scenario, however, is a project based on algo innovation, which is unlike anything else. Good project. TIG.
All right, let's check it out here.
Let's look for TIG. I sent you Wolf's.
Oh, yeah. All right. Here. James, if you could send. Oh, he doesn't know. James, we actually have a Telegram. If you go in our comment section, not comment section, in the description section, our Telegram's there. You can actually join it on Telegram, and then from there send Tom his strike or his
our TG link is in the body of the YouTube thing. Yeah, just go there and you can DM me. I try to triage the things we send to Pedro to do it.
I'm notoriously
is TIG Tigris? I don't know what TIG is. It doesn't come up on CoinGecko. Let me know more about TIG. Guitar Baby, another algo thing. It's Dar Baby is loving algo. Sluggo, thanks for joining us, Sluggo123, over on Rumble on that mighty platform. Thanks, Rumble has been very good to us. All right.
Stop. Render. Here we go. Deck screener.
Oh, I'm looking for TIG, and he meant teach.
Why won't this thing work, bro?
All right, which one you got up there now?
Tom, you there?
I'm here.
Lose everyone?
Nope. I'm here, Pedro. Earth to Pedro.
I think I lost him.
Nope. We're here, Pedro.
Tom, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Pedro. The meter says I'm sending your signal.
Lost Tom.
Nope. We're here.
Tom, you there?
Pedro, Earth to Pedro. We can hear you, Pedro. Pedro, let's reload. I'm going to reload the studio page here. See if you can get it. Pedro, Earth to Pedro.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Pedro, you there?
Yep. Yep, I'm here.
Don't know what happened there, but you're back.
Yeah, my computer decided to be like, forget you, dude. So
All right, which chart you got up there?
I am trying to pull up this CTO chart. All right, so look, see nice little CTO little pump here. Nice. We just got to stay above that 8-period moving average, right? Which we talked about, which is where you're above. And you want to see really when it comes down into this area, you should just have natural buyers stepping in. So I'd expect to see it come, and it did bounce off of this area of supply here, right? Which is right here. Let me real quick.
Oh, we can't see that on the screen here.
You can't see my screen?
No, we can see your screen. It's just that whatever it is too small. We just can't see it.
What about now? Can you see it now?
Oh, there's a wick there. Yeah, you couldn't see the wick on the stream.
So you can see the wick here playing. So it came into this wick area, which is a lot of supply, but hey, that's actually good, right? So that means you actually have sellers to buy to. So as it starts to push up into this level, we just want to see it above the 8-period moving average. And when it sells off, we want to see the seller sell and then see buyers come back into it and push it back up, which shows defense against a position, which means that it will most likely continue up. So that's what we're looking for here on this nice little chart so far. Good pump, sell off. Now it's pushing back up. So there we go. I like it. And you guys went from literally 9,000, bro, which is epic, 10,000, all the way up to 125,000. Dude, what a great story. I love it. Keep it going. Good job, Alpha. Good job. All right, what's next? What else do we have?
Got a request for Baby Doge. We got a request for
James. Baby Doge.
Yeah, I saw another one in there.
Baby Doge, where is it? I know I just had it. Baby Doge, here we go. I was actually just looking at that too. So it came down to our bottom area that we've talked about, showing weakness. So I'm glad many of us didn't buy it. I was not. I was more advent for us to really buy down in this lower level. We had the flip zone that we saw kind of push up again, but sure enough, it's come down. So this is definitely a good trade of us waiting on. Okay. Now the fact is that I'm not seeing buyers step in at a good level here. So that means it's most likely going to come down to the lows before it listed onto what was it? Was it Binance that listed it? Was it Binance or I forget who listed it? But that's big explosion was that situation that happened, right? Now people are selling off, which is good. If you're looking to be buying it, this would have been the first area that I talked about we wanted to look to buy. The second place that I'm looking to buy is really down at this, again, lower level here. Remember, I'm always looking to capture the lows.
What number is that lower level range here? Because my head is blocking the numbers.
It's going to be 1, 2.
Anyway, thanks. Sky brought this up. Sky, thanks for joining the show.
4.
Really appreciate it.
8, 9. So 90, 97, 20 area. No, so 90.
Baby Doge needs to do a split or some reverse split and drop some of those zeros.
So like shit, right? And we have like 50 trillion Baby Doge, and it's like
it's gonna go to $1. It's gonna go to $1, and I'm gonna be a trillionaire.
Yeah, everybody and their mom is a trillionaire. But in the same sense, this right here, it's got I think the next area. So this is the other part. So the area that we picked here was a good area. We are finding support on the weekly, on the monthly 8 and the monthly 20 area here. So we could see it sit here. If next month we see Baby Doge come down into these lower levels here, right? The demand area here, and we see it sell off first, okay? We could see it come back down to the 16,311 area, okay? To put in the bottom wick into the next month, okay? But then at the same time, if we see it go up first thing in the month, then I would expect to see a sell-off, right? And obviously, this guy keep coming back and asking us about this so we can keep going over it, because I like to monitor on a weekly basis. If not, we bring it up daily. We bring it up daily. So
Welcome Roland Rod to the house. Roland Rod says, no crypto gains tax.
Yeah,
well, President Trump is starting to float the idea of getting rid of the income tax.
This is not, dude. Do you understand? If that happens, bro, that is going to be. I don't think it's going to happen.
Every other country will. I mean, it won't be just people from South America trying to get into the U.S.
Bro,
I mean, Germans are going to be clamber. They're going to be on the shores of New Jersey after swimming over. The Dutch are going to be like, the streets of Holland are going to be empty. Like, where'd everyone go?
Dude,
we're calling New York New Dutchland again.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. If that, I don't think it's going to happen. But
I don't think so either, because the government gets a lot of money from it, and there's no way they can replace to replace the income tax with other taxes. They'd have to do an import tax on everything, tariffs, and some sort of value-added tax. It would change the dynamics of our economy too quickly, and it would cause a disaster. I mean, admittedly, the U.S. government gets very little of it. I mean, the income tax didn't even pay our debt interest this year.
Yeah.
And they could literally suspend the income tax and make up. It's not an overwhelming majority of our income for the United States government. They could get rid of it it would have to turn up the consumption in the U.S. a lot. It would be something interesting. But imagine how fast. I mean, everyone that's got any connection to the U.S. would be like, I'm in. Yeah. Running through the borders. Tom Holland would be so busy trying to deport people.
Bro, but
back to England you go.
I know, right? Like wait, but I'm English.
But I brought my Bentley. I got my Aston Martin and my Bentley with me.
I'm bringing my business too. We're gonna do everything here. Why am I not? Why can't I pull Google up?
Troublesome, glad to see you again. Troublesome, a while ago you won a giveaway I gave away for some BidFi, our central exchange sponsor, of 100 USDT. But I needed your BidFi account, and I don't think you ever sent it to me. I checked my DMs.
I'm sorry, I just looked at the Doge clock. It's already saved $30 billion.
Well, I don't know how that is. Some people were reporting on it. I think it's already including. I think it included all the DEI offices that they're closing, which was a massive amount in the United States government.
But just so you understand what Tom is talking about. All right, so the U.S., what we actually produce is $29 trillion. Our national debt is $36 trillion. Now, what we owe the rest of the world, okay, is about $8 trillion. Okay, that's what we actually own foreign. Stop. Get away. Sorry. U.S. total debt, U.S. total interest paid, $5 trillion. What's that? Student loans. I used to.
Man, I can't even follow your mouse. Your ADD is really going today.
No, but this is important. What you were saying. U.S. trade deficits. Anyways, the reason why here we go. U.S. debt held by foreign countries. They moved this. It used to be up here. Now it's down to here. It's $8,495 billion. Okay. But if you look at what we actually bring in for U.S. federal tax revenue, it's $5 trillion. 5 to 8 trillion, basically around there. Not 5 to 8 trillion, like 5 to 7 trillion based off what we typically do. So you can see here that we're about $3 trillion.
What's the time period on this page? What is it, like a rolling 24 month or 12 month thing or something?
Yep, rolling. Yep. The debt is up to date at the moment. A majority of these are monthly because we only get the numbers monthly, but over a period of, I mean, this thing's been up for 15 years.
Crying cat. Come on, man. This pasty white male in a light blue Oxford shirt isn't good enough for you?
Dude, we've been trying to get a girl on our show for a minute. I think we're too, I mean, look, we're very, very, we're both very guyish guys, right? So, besides the long hair. But,
yeah, Pedro's got the long hair and he's somewhat Latino. A lot of Irish in him still.
I could be like, hello, how are you?
Keep trying to get Mrs. Striking to do it, but she apparently has a professional career. And
I know, she's like a...
that was good, Crying Cat. I appreciate that.
Oh, that's good, Crying. Sky, what's up? Thank you. Then I'm effed. I'm in long position with liquidity piece at 0.6. What was he asking about?
Baby Doge.
Oh, Baby Doge. Yeah, bro, I wish you would have been paying attention to us because many of us, I told everybody, do not buy up here. Like, I was like, do not buy. This is not the time to buy. You want to buy. I said, if you're going to buy, there's a position here, but I wouldn't, right? And then the next one I said is, but the real buy area is down in this level here at that 25-ish.
DCA, my friend.
Yeah.
Either it's too late to take your tax losses for the year if you're an American. But other than that, DCA and hold for the long term.
Yeah, but really this lower point, like these two little lower points here, I'd expect to see is kind of come down and play off of, because that's really where the buyers were sitting here before we saw it explode. At that level, then we could then see another run from it, right? Especially if they get listed on another organization or they get put out by Elon and something happens. So, don't trip. Look. What I can do is we'll start to, because I know there's a future of it, so I'll pull up the future and show you how to kind of trade the future side of this so that you can make money.
We don't have much time left here, Pedro. We only got 5 minutes.
Okay, we don't need to do it right now, but we'll go over that when we start.
You can come back tomorrow and we'll hit this up. I'll make a note.
All right, boom. What was next?
If we missed one, let us know here.
Yeah, if you guys could do me a favor real quick, please hit that heart button, that like button. Helps us out a lot. I hate to be the guy who's always asking, but it really does help us out. It shows the audience. Also, you communicating and talking with us. And if you want to send us like a 2-cent thing, you know what we need to do? We need to start doing those, $10 goals. Right.
You're right. I need to put the goal thing. I tested it out once. It worked pretty well. Need to do that again.
We can do that.
I get shy though asking for money for people. It's.
Listen, I'm a religious man. I have no money.
You're like the church. Pedro, a long time ago, I went to midnight mass at the church my family used to go to in Florida.
Yeah.
And the priest just came out and said, look, there are a lot of tourists here today. The church is full. Normally it's old people and empty. And he says, look, and he had this thick Irish brogue that I'm not going to try and replicate. But he said, we are not a $1 and $2 church. We are a $5 and $10 church. And wait, when the collections guys are going around, he just came right out and said it.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm a religious man. Help a brother out, allow us to get, because I don't even care about the money. I just care about that when you give money, the algo sits there and goes, oh, they're doing something.
Right, it helps the algorithm out.
If you want to give me 50 cents, even 2 cents, give me your 2 cents on something.
Pedro, quickly on this Baby Doge thing here, what the SMA here, is it gonna, did it just violate the 200? The 400?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's most likely coming down.
Sky, bend over.
I didn't want to
take
crush
it here.
Sky, man. I feel bad for Sky, dude. That hurts so bad, bro.
The 400 when it drops through the 400, that's the line of no hope. That's what it is.
No, that's not true.
It's just DCA.
It just takes a minute for it. going on? You breaking up on me? What's going on?
Yeah,
Did
sorry,
I?
my
Oh, your mic died.
my mic pack
It's all
died.
good. It is all good. We've got a few more minutes. But listen, Sky, in all reality, man, look, this thing has such a huge community. So many people are a part of it. I don't think it's dead. I think it's going to definitely like resurrect and just everybody's gonna be like, oh my goodness, baby Doge, right? Um, I
Or
definitely
Elon will
caution.
mention it,
Yeah.
something like that. Just zoom.
Yeah, whatever it be, right? But you'll see here, right? Like I cautioned everybody, don't take part in this. Either if you're going to get in, this area might be a good area, but really I'm looking down at this lower level here, and really down at this level here is really also the area that I'm looking at next, right? Is that just looking at that, watching it. And if we come down to it, pick up, I mean, you're literally buying pennies on the dollar here, right? So if you put $100,
Dar Baby says
again, this
PP
is not
link. I
financial
don't know what that
advice.
means.
What's up, bud? PP link?
Dar Baby says PP link.
I don't have to PP, bro. I'm good. But thank you, though. You can go wherever you want, bud. It's all good. Sorry, bro. I had to. Oh, snaps a ton.
Oh, look, that worked.
Dr. J.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pedro
how
has
Dr.
a
J comes through. This is going to hiring to see Pedro as a hot Latin broadcaster. We're gonna get Pedro in a Vanna White dress here.
Oh no, bro.
Get him to take my spot in the full body shot here.
You do not want to see me in a dress. By the way,
thank you, Chuck. For everybody that wants to know, we really appreciate the super chats. We don't get them that often, but we do now and then. And the best thing it does is it helps Pedro and I. But more importantly, it tells the YouTube algorithm and the Rumble algorithm when you do a rant over there that there is something important going on here because it separates your money from your pocket and gives it to us. Yeah. And that's important to the algorithm. So thank you very much, Chuck. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, really do appreciate it. And again, I think $10 is a
link.
lot. You don't have to give. You don't have to give $10. I mean, look, whatever, anything helps, just simply because it feeds the algorithm. But thank you for the $10, Chuck. I do appreciate that. Like I said, give me your 2 cents about a subject. And
Troublesome, aren't you in Telegram?
Yeah, I thought he was.
I tried X. You can't get me on X.
Were you mass producing again? Was he mass dropping stuff into people's DMs?
Yeah, were you spamming? In between writing those cool riffs for your guitar, were you spamming everybody, Troublesome?
That's all good. All right, speaking of Doge, I actually want to talk about Doge here before we move along here. Doge actually showed a lot of strength recently, but I talked against it really because I didn't really see a lot of demand wicks as we were pushing up. So we actually closed below the 100 period. The next point really is down at this lower level of 21.9 OB. Give me 1 second.
Troublesome, in YouTube, if you go to the our channel page, there's the About section, or it says More at the top. My email address, or our show email address, is in there, and you can just email me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about something real quick. Got a few minutes to talk about. There's an interesting...
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I thought I had left the stove on. That's exactly what I thought for a brief second. I made breakfast real quick before I came up here, and I started smelling something, and I was like, oh, shoot. And then so I had to run real quick and say, hey, go check that out. And they're like, you tripping, dude. I'm just doing this. I was like, all right, cool. Anyways, it don't matter. Talking jive over here. So,
Dr. Rap. I didn't raise no fool. I Dr. Rap. Brother don't want no help. Brother don't get no help.
All right, Mr. Plain. Okay, so here we go. You can see the sell-off. I like it down again. I'm going to see if we can catch it at 21 cent here. It's a good little area. We definitely broke through this area right here. Now we're starting to see it kind of just, most likely we're going to see it go down because we have lower high, lower lows, high, lower high, low. Next is going to be lower low right here. And so I'm looking at that 22 cent mark area, potentially pick up a little bit more Doge, national area here. All right, that's in a nutshell.
All right, Pedro, I got
Gotta go.
I got something for you though I want to mention. And you're gonna get a kick out of this one. Let me get the right thing here. There's a new project coming out that's launching, and there's a couple of meme coins based on this concept of the deportation of illegal aliens out of the U.S. And this one.
Oh no, bro.
There's been a couple of memes that launched on Pump Fun and stuff like that are just random memes. But this one, unfortunately you can't see it because you're in the way here. In the menu behind us here, this one is launching soon. The link to it is in the body of the thing, and it has a report function. It has a report an illegal alien, their location, and you can take a geotag picture and report it. And if it matches the CB, because the customs and immigration, the ICE people publish a list of the high value people they're seeking. If it matches one of those, you get rewards. And they're using an AI validation process to match it. And so it's called ICE Raid. IceRaid.us is the website. And they're not paying me to say that. But I found they say, and if you scroll on the website, it says we're a meme coin and not an investment thing. But it offers a way to report people and earn rewards. You know, Pedro, you were talking about that thing that went on the internet saying that ICE was paying money as bounties for that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I was like, I wonder what would, and all of a sudden this comes to my attention, and I'm like, oh, that's genius. Turn them on each other. It even says if you are a illegal alien and you self-report, the U.S. looks favorably on honesty.
It does not. It does not. America. Oh man.
But anyway, here let me see if I can get the website to move here.
That's why that term says you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say will be held and used against you in a court of law.
Yeah, and here it says, make America safe again. And it has tokenomics here. Team Develop and Marketing gets some. The bounty, they're reserving 300 million tokens for bounties. They're going to do a pre-sale of 150 million. Voluntary legalization reward. If you self-report yourself and leave, you can earn money too. And then it's just unbelievable. Anyway, they got the full thing going here. They got the Telegram, they got Twitter, Facebook. They even have a GitHub because they need to have a whole mechanism for reporting. And you know, if people are reporting them, the U.S. ICE, it's going to make ICE's job easier, and they'll be watching it too. So it's probably going to be something really big. Anyway, I found that to be quite interesting, and it's likely old Tommy Boy here will get into pre. I rarely get in pre-sales, but I think I'm going to go do that.
Oh man.
It's going to turn gangs against each other. They're going to be reporting. Yeah, here's the pictures of one gang versus this is where he lives. This is where he lives. Hoping that Tom Homan and Dr. Phil are going to show up and deport their opposing gang members.
Oh, God, I love this stuff, man. Listen, the best way to get things happen, as Adam Smith says, right? Everybody has a thing that they're trying to do. And if they can make it self-profit for themselves, they will. That's obviously in a nutshell. Wealth of Nations. Paraphrase Pedro status. Well, I know you said you have to get going at a certain time. I don't want to respect that. But since you're here, I want to ask you a quick question. What are your thoughts on the idea that if Trump was really to make America the AI capital of the world and crypto market of the world, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be that big of a deal?
Not until it gets a lot bigger. I mean, like we talk about all the time, the capitalization of Bitcoin is only that of the price of real estate in Manhattan. I mean, it's not that big yet. Can it be big? Of course it can be big. Right now it's the largest transfer of assets, of money, value from one asset class to another. Hasn't really created any money, except for the typical creating companies and how it uses the fractional reserve banking system to create companies. But it's just transferring money from the great stock market over to Bitcoin and to related things. So it could be just as good. This studio just doesn't work as well with when my wireless mic doesn't work out. Anyway, Pedro, the outro is playing right now. We got to get things going. I do think the U.S. can become the hub of all of these things because there's no better place to innovate than in the United States. It's encouraged by the economy. It's encouraged by rewards from wealth. And the government sets a fair playing field for mostly everybody. But as compared to a lot of other countries, it's really fair here in the U.S.
Very fair. I mean, unless you're Trump. But I mean, he came through, man. He pushed through it. Oh, dude, we got to talk about the next one, bro. How he literally went after the people who basically put him up on charges. Like, I thought that was like, oh shoot. Again,
yeah, they all got pardoned, so.
It don't matter. They got fired, dude. Like, you're done. Get out of here.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, all those usual things. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to all you new viewers we had today. If you're still there watching us, thanks for getting all the way to the end. We're here every Monday through Thursday, 12:30 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or I should say Eastern Time. And on Fridays, Pedro runs Full Rant Friday on X. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here. On behalf of Pedro, Garcia, and I, we will see you tomorrow, so be there.